I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the market does not look great. This video, I'm gonna show you what you can do and what you should be thinking about so that you are ready for what's the next move. And so we plan for the impending bull market. So what's happening right now is the GBT sell-off. Chinese New Year is coming and what that does to affect the price of Bitcoin. And then we're gonna look at where is Bitcoin going and why is it going there. So as we look at the chart, we can see that we are not in a great situation. We are breaking into the cloud. We haven't had that TK cross yet, so we're not 100% sure that this is going to go lower. But when we look at a couple factors, we know on a shorter term where Bitcoin likely will go and why alts will likely follow, because Bitcoin sets the trend for the entire market. When Bitcoin starts to run, people get more confident, so does ETH, so does everything else. What's gonna happen now and what should you plan to do? Well, there's a thing called hedging, and hedging gives you the ability to think, okay, I'm gonna hold my Bitcoin that I have from down below, but what can I do to earn profit in the shorter term? Well, when we break into the cloud, I told you guys that I would likely sell and go into the bottom of the cloud around 35. That is where I'm at right now. I opened a short today and I'm waiting for us to go to the bottom of the cloud. My stop loss will be basically once we get above 42, because that will be, we're breaking out of the cloud again, and that could be a fake out level, so I may adjust that a little bit higher. But in general, that's where I'm at right now. It's a 3.7R trade, meaning if you risk 500 bucks, you're making 3.5 times more than that, which is a good risk reward. Now, where does the market go? And why is it coming down, right? Because everyone's going, okay, but like I thought this ETF was going to be this bullish news and like all these funds and people coming in the space was going to come and pump the price of Bitcoin, but it also enabled GBTC to unlock their crypto and be able to sell off for people. So that is happening right now. We're seeing 10 to 20,000 Bitcoin being reduced from their 500,000 plus supply, and it's coming onto the market, and we're seeing sell-offs because of that. We also have a second factor, Chinese New Year. Now, most people don't understand that those red envelopes have to be full. And in China, that's a really, really important time. What generally we've seen happen in the past is we see a sell-off into Chinese New Year, and then after Chinese New Year, the money that was put into the red envelopes comes back into the crypto markets or all the markets in general. So that's what we're seeing here. And those are the two reasons why we're seeing the Bitcoin price get downturned. We're also understand, if we zoom out over here, that we just had a massive run up without any real hardcore corrections the entire time we ran up. So if you look from like all the way down at 16.5, where we started having that confirmation signal, we ran all the way up to 48,000. So if we run up to 48,000 without a real correction, it would be okay and actually quite healthy for the market if we have that correction happen. So when we zoom in, we see that, okay, it looks bad on the shorter term, but in the long term, that will be very good for the market. Bitcoin right now is in a position where it's gonna drag all the alts with it. You can plan for this though. There's things that you can do right now, and that's looking for levels to buy back in. If you haven't sold anything and you're in profit, this might be a good time, like I was saying a couple weeks videos ago, that you could be taking profit, and at least then you secure your USDT, because if we come back down lower, you can buy more Bitcoin, you can buy more altcoins. Right now is probably the time where either you sit and do nothing, or you wait and plan for the lower levels to deploy your capital. Because if you're deploying right this second and you're not potentially in a short-term short, you probably are going to be someone who gets emotional and fearful and make bad decisions because of your emotions will start dictating what's going on with your trade. So make sure that you're out where you don't care. And remember, if you have a long-term perspective and you got into crypto and you're up a lot, taking profits not a horrible deal anytime, even if it's only the 50%, right? And then getting back in lower. If you're scared and you won't ever get back lower, you don't want to watch the chart, you're busy, if you know where the cycle is going to be in 6 months, you shouldn't worry about the short term either. So we're looking at these levels right here, that 38K we ripped through, we never retested. We likely will come to that level first. 38K would be where I'd be putting my first bid, a smaller amount, not as big. So I would dollar cost in a little bit bigger each time. So my first one might be, let's say if I wanted to do 100%, I would use maybe 15% of my assets at 38K. Then when we kept coming down at 35, 34.5 to 35.5, I would be deploying about 40% of my capital there. And then if we get that huge retracement all the way down to 31.5, I would then use the next 40% to deploy there. Now you could do 20, 30, and 50. It's up to you. You have to make your own decisions, but I'm just saying what I likely would do because I don't know for sure if it's gonna get that low. So I wanna have a little bit more of my capital in the market than waiting for that last 50% and then I only get half of what I want in. So that's my mindset and how I think about it, but obviously you have to make your own decisions for yourself. Guys, make sure that you're following along because my next video, I'm gonna share all the alt key levels that you guys could be looking at, just like I did with Bitcoin in this one. And the video after that, you definitely don't wanna miss because when we're in a downturn and the market's not going up, there are a lot of ways to earn free money. And I'm gonna be sharing that with you guys in the following video after that. So make sure you don't miss out on those and I'll see you guys soon.